Hey, what's up gardening family? Oppe here with the Brew City Gardener channel. Now, recently I tagged Sydney over at the Naked Gardener channel in a collaboration about houseplants. Now, if you take a look, you can see my video right up here. So go check it out, make sure you join us, and let's grow together.
Hey, thanks Oppe for that introduction. What's going on everyone? It's your boy Sydney from the Naked Garden channel. In this video I did a collaboration with Oppe from the Brew City Garden, and we're going to show about our houseplants. Now, we have some houseplants at our home in Texas, and being here in Georgia during business reasons, I decided that I felt I need to have some type of greenery. So I decided to get some houseplants a while back, and luckily at the same time, Oppe was doing this video and he tagged me on this. So it was a good coincidence from there. So in this video, we're going to go over some of the houseplants that we have, some of the light requirements, the watering, soil, and some type of how to fertilize them as well. And so we're going to start right now. All right, so one of the first plants that I want to introduce is one of the plants that Oppe has, and that is the snake plant, also known as the mother-in-law tongue. I put the Greek word or wording for it right here. This is one of the plants that I kind of drawn to me because from what I've been told, it's a very easy plant to maintain. And at the end of these videos, I'll tell you the reasons why I picked most of these plants that I picked. With this one, like I said, it's very easy, very low maintenance, doesn't require much light. Now, with this, since our house has a very low lighting in there, with these, if you do provide it with a lot of sunny indirect light, it will grow. If you have a low light in your house, it will still grow, but not as fast. These is one of the easiest plants to propagate. I got this about 2 or 3 days ago, and the soil is pretty still damp. The only thing I don't like getting these from a big box stores is like they will just heavily water it. It seems like almost every hour on the hour. So when I picked this up, it was like very drenched. Now, with these plants, they're very hardy. You can see by the thick leaves, and you can actually even cut them off right here and put some either some rooting hormone or just put them directly into the soil, and they will just propagate right there. So these are one of the main easy ways to propagate off of here. With watering with these, you don't really need to water as much. So if you're traveling a lot, you don't have to worry about watering these. You can water these like once every 2 weeks, maybe even once a month. You'll notice that the leaves will start to droop, and that's when you know that you need to water. You can also do the finger test, just like with any other plant vegetables that you have outside. Just put your finger in, go up to the knuckle, your second knuckle. If it comes out dry, that's when you know you need to water it. For the soil, you can use, from what been told, you can use like a cactus mix, a peat moss mix, something that drains very well, so it doesn't just keep the water in there. And I think that's the first plant. I got this here, and I also have this back at home. One of the next plants that I bought before coming here to Georgia is the Philodendron Monastery. It's not the one that I wanted of the Monastery. However, I do like it. It's also called the Swiss cheese. I'll put the Greek name right here. It's once the plant becomes mature, it automatically starts to form these holes in these leaves. And with this plant, it can grow as big as up to 6 to 8 foot long, 8 foot tall. And it's almost like it's considered a vine, and you will have to almost stick a what they called a growth board or something, growth stick. You put the stick in there and just have it basically as it grows, just wrap the vine up and everything. And I just like this plant. I started liking this plant like last year. I saw this plant. I forgot where I saw it at, but I was like, oh wow, that is a neat plant. You know, you don't find that many plants that basically have its holes like that, and each hole is almost like a snowflake or a butterfly or whatever like that. It's each hole is unique, and so with the light requirements for that. Same with the snake plant. The more light that it has, the more that its growth. If you have low light, it still will grow, but not as fast. Certain plants of it, I was told and I've seen that they will do a flower on there. These plants are very easy to propagate. The water on this, you want to water it about once every 2 weeks. And I believe you want to get it to where the next time you water, you want it to get dry, so that way it continue to water from there. All right, so the next plant that we're going to do is the Parlour Palm. Now, the reason why I like this, I thought it was pretty neat, is it's basically a tree. But the more light that you give it, the taller it will grow. It can grow up to about 10 feet tall, I believe. We're going to put this in the bathrooms. That way, it doesn't need a lot of water. It actually like its soil to be pretty much on the dry side, and just need a few mist spray to kind of get the humidity in there. It's almost like a tropical plant. So you don't need that much light. It doesn't need that much water. The soil, for the soil, just needs a regular old potting mix. You could probably add some peat moss to it, but a regular premium potting mix in there will be just fine. And that is that on this. All right, so the next plant that we're going to cover is the spider plant. This spider plant is very easy to propagate. Doesn't need a lot of light, just basically some bright indirect light on here. For the watering, doesn't like its root to be saturated. The roots actually have like this big tubers, and that's how it basically soaks up the water from there. As you can see on here, we got a lot of dead leaves. I'll probably do a video on how to prune this and repot this. This is very easy to propagate. Actually, it propagates itself. Most times they'll have these little shoots called pups, and you can actually put this into some soil, and it will sprout on its own, and just started getting these own shoots and stuff. The soil for this, you don't need you can just use a regular potting mix. You don't need a premium mix on this, and just basically water maybe once or twice a month during the non-growing season. Just check your soil just to see how it is. I wish I could show y'all this, but it's basically the Home Depot. They water their plants too frequently, in my opinion. And normally I would try to get these from a nursery. So if you can get them from a nursery, please do. I just don't know any nursery around this Georgia area, so I just went to Home Depot to get this. So that is that on that one, and we'll go to our last plant. Now, the last plant that we have is the Mrs. Naked Gardener's favorite. She's been begging me to get this plant, and I've been like, I don't know, you got a black thumb and stuff. So, but I decided to kind of help coach her through this. And what the tree is basic, or the plant is, well, it is a tree, is the money tree. Now, for those that don't know anything about the money tree, it's supposed to bring some type of good luck. And you'll see a lot of them. The root of the plant is about either 3 to 5, maybe even 6, and they're just kind of a braided type of plant. You want to braid the top portion when the stems are green, because once their stems are brown, they're woody, and they're going to be hard to braid from there. For the light, it loves bright indirect light. You can put it near a window. I would rotate it every so often. If you see the leaves get kind of discolored, that means you got it probably too close to a window. If you see the leaves turning I think it's like when you can kind of see the vein of the plant, then that means you got it too far away from the window. So you got to kind of plan accordingly from there. But they like normally bright indirect light. And for the soil, you can just use a regular potting mix. Some people have known to use a cactus mix with a peat moss mix, and normally water it. Those are very tolerable for long periods of time for no water. So you could, during the non-growing season, you can probably get away with only watering once every 2 weeks. And it's very easy to water those. You just saturate the root. I would just, like, for instance, let's say you had this as your money tree, just drop your pot into a bucket of water, or you can just do a little hand watering tray and just saturate it till the water soaks out of it. Wait about 5 minutes and do another watering, and you're good for a month. That's how easy it is to water those plants there. Now, to fertilize these, you want to fertilize maybe once to twice a month during the growing season at minimum. And during the non-growing season, you don't have to worry about them. You want to repot most of these only one time a year, and that's when you're getting to the springtime, and just go up probably like a container size of what it's in right now to get the root to. Some of these are like they have the root ball, and some of them don't. I believe like the money tree and the spider plant, they love to have in a small container, get that root ball going. You might have to tease the root a little bit once you pull it out and trying to transplant it. But other than that, those are some of the reasons why we selected some of these plants, along with all of these plants kind of have, besides the money tree, purify the air. Now, for one of these plants, it takes about 100 square foot of your house to purify that air. So depending on, like, say for instance, if your house is 1,800 square foot, you'll need about 18 of these plants. You could get them all separate plants, but 18 will get the right amount of toxins in the air. It will remove those toxins out of it, especially if you put the snake plant in your bedroom. It's supposed to help you sleep a lot better, breathe a lot better. So we're gonna put some of those in our bedrooms. Well, thanks, Oppe, for giving me that shout out. Let me do that collaboration with you. I really enjoyed always conversating with you. And I'm also going to tag one person to do a video. This person has actually got the Mrs. Naked Gardener into doing with houseplants. And so she actually subscribed to him first and told me about him. And this person is Gerard's Horticulture Culture channel. I'll put the links down below. He does a lot of amazing exotic plants. I think one of his plants that I like was the Monstera. And as you know, like I mentioned before, I love the Monstera plants, and he has this variegated one. Didn't do too well about it. Matter of fact, let me know how that video goes. I need you to post an updated video on that variegated Monstera plant. But I challenge you to post some of your house plants. Now, I know you got a lot, so you could do about 3 if you want. But if you want to do the whole one of them, that's fine as well. So I hope you like these kind of videos. We're going to be doing a lot of these. Well, I won't say a lot of these. We'll be doing a few more houseplants videos while I'm in this apartment, especially with the fall and winter season rapidly approaching us and everything. So if you like this type of video, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you don't miss an upload. Until the next video, let's grow together.